Strike is underway here in France. Public transport and some rail services severely impacted in Paris and other major cities. But it's not only travel. Teachers, pharmacists, and hospital staff all walking off the job to protest looming budget cuts. Unions are calling for today's strike to make more of an impact than the one from last week. They're also calling for the government's planned cuts to public services to be scrapped entirely, while the ultra-rich get higher taxes. For more on this story, we can go across to James André standing by at the Bastille. James, what's going on where you are?
Well, look, behind me you can see this massive protest that is forming and getting ready to go. It should be starting any minute now. So what we have here is, the main union reps of France who are gathered right behind me in this square. And then you have literally dozens of trucks to the colors of these trade unions that are lined up ready to cross Paris towards République and then Nation, which are, one of the main squares here in Paris. We're expecting a lot of people at this protest. The authorities are saying 50 to 100,000. And across France, what the authorities have been talking about is 600 to 900,000 people on the streets in these protests. And this comes on top of strikes that are hitting, basically every sector here in France. Now, it's true that this morning things have been calmer than anticipated with, for example, if you take the teachers, 17% were on strike, 33% were announced. When you talk about the health sector, for example, there are, a vast majority, some say up to 9 out of 10 pharmacists who are on strike. Today, it's the same with doctors. So it is very, very much a general movement of strike across France. And while for now things are perfectly calm here, it's rather festive, but it's going to get underway very soon.
James, according to the French Interior Ministry, some 800,000 people are expected to be taken to the streets across France today. As you mentioned, we have teachers who are saying no cuts to education, hospital staff who are saying no cuts to healthcare. Given all of that, is the government likely to listen to all of this that's happening from the street?
Well, look, I think, this is putting maximum pressure on Sébastien Lecornu, the new Prime Minister, who's just been named. A lot of people here, I was speaking to some, were telling me that they felt that this nomination was not a good one. As you know, Mr. Bayrou's government, the former Prime Minister, just fell a few days ago under the pressure of the National Assembly. And what they're saying is that basically Emmanuel Macron is still aligned on the same politics. So I've been speaking to a few people here who are today out protesting, including, for example, a new union leader who's telling me, look, his name is Maxime, he works in the nuclear field. He's a technician charged of building nuclear power plants. And he was telling me that, he feels that unions need to be listened to. He says, we want Sébastien Lecornu to speak to what we call here les partenaires sociaux, that is, all the main union reps in the country in order to discuss this budget. Basically, everybody's here saying what we do not want is austerity. We want spending to continue. A few of these protesters are telling me, look, there are alternative budgets out there that have been outlined by the opposition parties, by the unions. And he says, we want the new Prime Minister and his government to look at these budgets, to think about them, to consider them. And I was speaking to other protesters telling me that what they want to see is indeed this Zuckman tax. They want to see the ultra-rich, as they call them, taxed more here in France. They say that there are too many corners that can be cut by rich people in order not to pay tax, and they want to see that end. So basically, this is very much about this budget, very much about the climate in the country. But what you can see behind me is quite a massive mobilization. We'll have to see how many people actually come out at the end of the day.
Indeed. James, thank you very much for that. James André reporting there for us.